All righty, everybody. Welcome to the podcast with me. I am your host, Robin Fafmi. And let me tell you what, if your day has been anything like mine, then together we are glad to be here because getting set up for this particular broadcast has been quite a challenge, but it always reminds me that no matter what, we can still always make it happen. So here we are live on Facebook, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Stay Humble, Be Humble Network. You are here with me, Robin Fafmi. As I said, I am your host, and Solar Logics EDU. That is the company name, Solar Logics EDU. And I am the founder and the operating manager of Solar Logics EDU. And what Solar Logics EDU is, we are a solar energy education company and sales organization. What that means is that our primary focus is to help homeowners understand how to correctly interpret information about solar energy so that when you, the homeowner, chooses to transition your home energy use to solar, you won't be taken advantage of. Because listen, there are lots and lots and lots of horror stories out there about people who purchase solar and then they find out that a lot of what they thought they were actually buying is different. So we are here every Thursday from 6:30 until 7:30, and we just talk about solar energy. We talk about things that every homeowner should know about going solar. And we want to make you smarter. Solar Logics EDU is really centered around making homeowners smarter about solar energy. So I am happy that you are here. If you are on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe button. Facebook, like it, share it, please, because there are so many people who need to understand this information that we are sharing here. Even if you don't have solar panels on your home, that's okay. You become smarter about it now so that in the future, when it's that thing that everybody has on their rooftops, you will know how to make the best decision. Now, you can check us out on our website, solarlogicsedu.com. And you can also give us a call at 214-497-7440. Now, hopefully, there are those of you listening who may have questions about solar energy. And if you do, feel free to give us a call right here, right now, while we are on the air. If I do get a call, just know that you will be a live caller. I will take your question on the air and go ahead and discuss that. So buckle up. You might even want some popcorn or drink or something, because hopefully the hour that we spend with you is somewhat entertaining as well as educational. Again, we're going to just reiterate a little bit that the podcast is all about solar energy. And the purpose for being here every Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30, is to educate the homeowners about solar energy. What is it? What does it mean? Is it something that would be good for me? Is my house a good fit for solar? What should I consider when I think about going solar? What's going to be the cost involved? Will I still have an electric bill along with paying for my solar panels? And is there a tax credit? Will I actually get that money back in my hands? There is a lot to understand. But listen, here's what I believe. I believe that solar energy, all about solar, really should not be hard or difficult to understand. But there are lots of moving parts that makes it very, very important for you to make sure that you are educated about solar energy and you do understand how it works, so that, again, as we mentioned earlier, when you, the homeowner, makes the choice, when you choose, not when you have been pressured into a sale, or not when you have made a purchase and didn't know that you had time to cancel, not then, but when you choose based on your knowledge that you apply to all things that are solar, when you choose to transition your home energy use to solar energy, you won't be taken advantage of. That's why I am here, because I understand that there are many, many homeowners out there who are suffering because of the financial harm that has been done to you, because a salesperson knocked on your door, talked to you about solar, you've heard something about solar. There are lots of advertisements today. I mean, everywhere you go, there is an advertisement. Everywhere you go, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, your regular TV, cable TV, it doesn't matter. At some point, you are going to hear an advertisement, a commercial, or somebody's going to call you on the phone and they are going to be talking to you about solar energy. They're going to want to qualify you. Okay. They want to know, how much is your electric bill? How much do you pay every month? You'll tell them that. Um, do you have any trees that cover your rooftop? So they're trying to now understand if there is any shade, anything that's going to block the sun. So you need to be fully equipped to apply the knowledge that you have about solar energy, so that you won't be taken advantage of. Um, Again, I am Robin Fahmy. My company is Solar Logics EDU. The first and most important aspect of what I do in business, and why I am even here, is to educate homeowners about solar energy. That's important to know. Then the second part of that is I sell solar. Okay, so after you have listened for a while, maybe you've come to some of our in-person classes and training about solar energy, and then you may decide that, well, wow, I really like this. And if I can lower my energy bill, my electric bill, to the point where maybe the bill comes in at zero and now I'm simply paying for my panels, you may decide that it's good for you. We've done the analysis, we've done the evaluation of your home, your rooftop. Um, we know exactly how much sun hours you get every year. So the determination that your home, your roof, is a great candidate for solar. When you make that decision, then hopefully I'm here. Hopefully, you will buy it from me. But even if you don't, I want you to be so well versed in solar, residential solar energy, so that whomever you might sit with to talk about it, that you can apply your knowledge and know that you are making the best choice and you're getting the best deal. Because here's something you need to know. Right now, the government is giving a 30% tax credit. That means that if you're, let's just say for easy math, because math is not my thing, let's just say that your system costs $30,000. 30% of that, I think, is $3,000. Let me get my calculator and see for sure. Let's just do some real live numbers here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's just say your system is 30,000 times 30%. So that's going to be $9,000. So now, a lot of sales reps and a lot of the companies that call you on the phone when they're trying to qualify you, they will give you this big spiel about, government and state incentives. And the government incentive that they will refer to is that you're going to get a tax credit. So your system costs $30,000. You're going to get $9,000 back in a tax credit, and you can take that $9,000 and pay down on your bill, to the finance company of that $30,000. Or some salespeople, they'll tell you that you can take that and do anything you want. You can go on vacation with that 9,000. You can make repairs to your home. They'll tell you all kinds of things that will make that sound really good. But what you have got to understand is that, yes, the government is giving a 30% tax credit for solar, which means exactly what I just said. If you make a purchase, $30,000, $9,000 is going to be your tax credit, but you are not going to get that money in your hands. Now, occasionally, some people do get the money in their hands. If you're a W 2 worker, or even if you're a 1099 and you've put money back or you pay in, you know how if you're an hourly worker, every week or every time you get paid, you can see where money has been taken out of your income for taxes. And so, same thing. So now you get to the end of the year, it's time to file your taxes. And let's just say you owe $5,000. Well, you have a $9,000 credit that you can use 5,000 of that 9,000 to pay that liability that you owe to the Internal Revenue. So, in cases like that, most often, if you have paid in all year, and maybe you've paid in 5,000, 6,000, whatever it is, now you don't have to use that money that you've paid in to offset anything that you owe. So if that's the case, then yes, you may get money back. But it is just very vital and very important that you speak to the person who prepares your taxes. Let them know that you are considering solar panels and you know that the government is giving a 30% tax credit, and how is that going to affect me? Ask them, will I get the money back in my hands? Most of the time, your tax person, CPA, um, uh, just whoever prepares your taxes, they will know. There is a form that you will fill out that will indicate the numbers, and that form goes in with your paperwork. And if you owe money, that credit can be used to satisfy what you owe. So I'm telling you this because when the person knocks on your door. They're talking about solar. Well, ma'am, have you thought about the government is giving a tax credit. You can get so much money back, and then you can take that money, pay your bill down, or do whatever you want to do with it. Just understand that what they are telling you may not be the complete truth. It may not be the whole truth. So, anytime someone knocks on your door or calls you on the phone, set an appointment for somebody to come to your home to talk to you about solar. You've got to ask questions. Okay. Ask them about that tax credit and really ask them about it. What does that mean? Okay. The government is giving a 30% tax credit. When they say to you, just simply ask them, what does that really mean? And what benefit is that for me? They may go on to explain it, but then again, listen to the words. Your vocabulary is very important here. What is a credit? You know what a credit is. A credit means that you can get something in exchange for the credit. Let's just say you went to the grocery store, you made a purchase, you got home, you realized you bought the wrong item. Now you go back, you return that item. But the store policy is we don't give cash refunds, we give store credits. If they're offering you a store credit, what that means is that you can go and get the right item, or you can go and get anything else that you want in that store. If it costs the exact same amount, it will be what they call an even exchange. If it costs more, it means that they will apply the credit to what you bought, to your charge. They will apply the credit and then you pay the difference. So you know what a credit is. So when they're telling you, the government is going to give you a tax credit and you can take that money and do whatever you want. No, you can't, because that's not what a credit is. Now, if they use a word like rebate, or if they use a word like incentive, sometimes an incentive can be something other than a credit. Because in this case, they will use the term or the word incentive when they talk about this credit. But a credit is a credit. It is something that can be applied to something else. Doesn't mean you're going to get money because you have a credit. You'll get credit up to that amount. Then you owe whatever you owe. But if they use the term the government is offering a rebate, or the energy company, Encore, or whoever your energy provider is, you may be in a co-op, or you just may live in a different city than I live in, whereas Encore is the company that delivers energy to us here where I live. But if they use the word rebate, a rebate is usually something that you are going to get, and you're going to get that in your hand. They're either going to mail it to you, they're going to Zelle it to you, they're going to Cash App it to you, some kind of way. They're going to email it to you, and there may be a gift card waiting in your email. But a rebate is something that you are going to get physically. A credit is not necessarily something you're going to get in your hand. So that's a really big one right now. And you'll notice, pay attention, when you hear the commercials on YouTube, on Facebook, on your television, they will say, the government is offering solar panels at no net cost. And all of the language that they use will make you believe that you don't have to pay anything for it. Now, here's what you need to understand about that is what's going on right now is there is no out-of-pocket cost, which means that if you decide to go solar, you've seen the presentation, you like everything that you've seen, and you're like, let's go for it. Then the next step is they're usually going to get you on the phone with the finance company. Okay. The finance company is going to run your credit. They're going to make sure that you are worthy of whatever this loan is, whatever amount it is. The finance company will come back and say, okay, you are qualified, approved for this amount of money, and that amount of money will cover your solar panel system. Now, you sign on the dotted line and they're ready to move to the next step, okay? Be sure that before you make that decision, even if you've made the decision and you are sure about it, don't sign the document the same day. I'm telling you this, okay? This is me telling you this based on my experience, based on the stories that I hear about so many homeowners who are right now unhappy with the experience that they've had with being sold solar, okay? Solar itself is not the problem. The problem is your electric bill is high. You don't want to keep paying that high electric bill. So now you're hearing all the buzz in the media, on TV, on the radio, go solar, lower your electric bill, and live a happy life. Okay, that's what you're buying into because it does have the potential to solve your problem. But before you sign on the dotted line, tell them you need to sleep on it and let them come back tomorrow or let them come back 2 days from now so that you can really have time to run this whole idea through your mind and really understand what you are about to commit to. And what I mean by that is these systems are not cheap, okay? And they're different for everybody. I have solar on my home. I've had it for 3 years. And what I paid for solar, if my neighbor has solar, the cost is going to be different because your system is designed based on the energy usage that you are using every day right now. So if you're using, let's just say 1,500 kilowatts of energy per month, then I need to design a system for you that will produce at least 1,500 kilowatts per month. Whereas my neighbor may have 5 children, a mom and a dad, and their in-laws may live with them. So that's 5, 6, 7, possibly 9 people in a house. Whereas in my home, I have 4 people. And 4 people who are consuming using 1,500 kilowatts, and you've got 9 people, they may be consuming 2,000 or 25. So that's why if you're ever in a conversation with someone who has solar and you have it too, and you're trying to compare the cost of the system itself, you can't do it. You just can't really do that because my energy needs are different than your energy needs. So that means your system may have 30 panels, mine may have 54. Whatever that difference is, just know it's different. So if you have any questions about anything I have just said, please write them in the comment section. give me a call at 214-497-7440 and we can talk about it. Some of you have heard me say, I live here in the Dallas, Texas area in DeSoto, and I have the ability to service the whole state of Texas. And in some cases, I can go to other states because education has no boundaries. I can talk to people anywhere about solar, especially if you're just wanting to know something, you need to seek out the information. If I'm selling solar, I partner with installers that can install in more than one state. And I'm pretty confident with the people that I partner with, and I am pretty confident that your experience is going to be a good one, and that over time we will still be there for you. Because one of the things that happens with solar is companies pop up like popcorn. They pop up day in, day out, and they knock on doors and they phone call all day, and they get the numbers, they make the money that they need to make. Okay, so for me, I'm very passionate about making sure that homeowners have an advocate out here, that you can finally level the playing field. Okay, because in most cases, as it is, the person who's selling the solar, their knowledge base is pretty good. The company that's installing the solar, they know what they're doing. But you, okay, you as the homeowner, in most cases, you know the least about this process. You know the least about what's going on until you have signed on the dotted line. The system has been installed on your rooftop, and now you find out you are not going to get that $9,000 rebate like they told you. Now you find out that the company that sold it to you, they're not even in business anymore because, like I said, they pop up all day, every day. Okay. And they make the money. And then in a lot of cases, they are gone. So that's why it is important for you to share my name, Robin Fahmy, with your communities. Because what I can help you do, and what my company, Solar Logics EDU, does, we are centered around making you, the homeowner, smarter. We provide value, or we believe that we're providing value in teaching you, the homeowner, how to correctly interpret information about solar energy so that when you choose, that is a key word, when you choose to transition your home energy use to solar, you won't be taken advantage of. You won't be mad, angry, and upset because you bought it thinking you were going to get a tax credit. Now you know you're not going to get it. And you bought it thinking that it was going to totally eliminate your electric bill, and it doesn't. Now you're upset. Now, here's another thing. When the finance company qualifies you and that salesperson is there, you've filled out the information for the finance company, you've done the DocuSign, you've done everything that they need for you to do, they have approved you. You said yes because you signed on the dotted line. Now they have emailed you your contract, and as far as they are concerned, you are done. But here's what you need to know. And this is important. And in my opinion, it has to change. The finance company, as soon as you are approved, okay, and you are on the hook for that loan, now the salesperson, you've signed his contract, he's gone. Now they are making arrangements to come and install your system. When they show up with all the materials to install the system on your roof, in most cases, they have already been paid. The finance companies don't require any proof of work completed. They don't require anything from these installers before they pay them. Now, I have heard, I need to go and verify it, but I have heard that some finance companies now are at least wanting your system to be PTO'd, which means you now have permission to operate that system before they pay all of the money. Maybe they gave them enough to purchase the panels, and whatever is remaining, they may not get that until you're at a certain point. But who verifies that? Right now, nobody is calling you back on the phone to say, hey, Robin, is your system installed? Do you have permission to operate? Is it hooked up? Have you talked to your electricity company? They know you have now transitioned to solar. Nobody is following up with any of that stuff. This is why education about solar energy and how it works is so important. Okay, you did a good job. Okay, you studied and you knew a little bit or a lot. Okay, and when everything was done, now it's just between you and the retail electricity provider. And when your bill comes in, you're still getting a bill. Now, maybe your bill was 200, 250, 300, maybe it was 500 on a regular basis. When you got solar, maybe they told you that, your bill would be a whole lot less. And maybe if it was 500, maybe it's still 300. Why is that? Okay. There are some variables that would be the reason for that. But you have to know that once they leave you and you start talking to the electricity company about, okay, I've got solar panels, and they start talking to you about how much you're paying per kilowatt and how much overproduction is going back to the grid and how much they're going to pay you for that. Oh, well, some of them will pay dollar for dollar, meaning that if you pay 10 cents per kilowatt, any amount of energy that you send back to the grid, they're going to pay you 10 cents per kilowatt for that. So that's good. That's an even thing. But guess what? You still have a base charge, you still have taxes, and you still have a TDU delivery charge. That means the energy company that delivers the energy, as I said, in my case, it's Encore. Encore charges a charge for the lines that this energy comes across, okay, to get to me. There's a charge. So they will charge me so much per kilowatt. So I may be paying 10 cents per kilowatt. They're buying it back. My retail electricity company, they're buying my energy back. The overproduction, all that I don't use, is going back to the grid. Now they're buying that back at the same 10 cents. That's considered a dollar for dollar solar buyback program. That's good. Now you've got your taxes, you've got your TDU charges. Now, if your TDU charge however many kilowatts you use, if you use, let's just say my last bill. Now, this is ridiculous, but my last bill, I used 3,000 kilowatts. That is a lot. And the reason for it is here in Texas, the last few weeks, we've been very cold, uh, below freezing, in the teens. And something I've just learned, because we keep our thermostat set at around 74, 75, not ever much higher than 76, even in the winter. Okay. But because it has been so cold, okay, it takes longer to heat up. Okay, it takes longer for the when we turn the heater on. It takes it longer to do the job of heating up to that 75 or that 76. And so, you know, it's having to heat up so much cold air. It's so cold outside. It makes it difficult, more difficult, and take longer to heat up to that level on the thermostat that you want the temperature set at. So, if it is taking longer to heat, then you're using more kilowatts. So, I didn't use more kilowatts because my family is just being irresponsible and we're just, doing all sorts of things to use it. No, it's natural. It's a natural effect because it is so cold outside. And so, for that reason alone, my delivery charge for this past month was $157. Now, when I saw $157, I questioned that quite a bit because even at 3,000 kilowatts, it should not have been that, because I knew that I was paying 0.3589 for the delivery charge. So if you did that calculation, it wouldn't be $157. But Encore, as in your areas, they can raise those rates anytime they want to or decide to without telling you. So guess what? My TDU delivery charge, my energy delivery charge, went up from 0.389 to um, zero point 0.5 something. It went up a little more than 2 cents. And 2 cents made that kind of a difference. So, am I mad at solar? Am I mad at my system because I have solar? I'm not supposed to have a bill? Well, initially we got a little hot. We got a little hot about it. But once we looked at it, we realized it didn't have a lot to do with having solar. It had more to do with the fact that Encore had raised the delivery charge rate, which now almost double, because last month I used less kilowatts and my delivery charge was only $77. But even though, if it was at the rate that it was at when I first signed up with this particular contract with this particular energy company, it wouldn't have been that. So I get a bill. Okay, I get a bill. And when you talk about solar energy, what you must keep in mind is that we're talking about energy usage. So, yes, solar will help to lower or eliminate what you pay for your energy use, okay? The kilowatts per hour. But you have to be sending back enough energy to the grid that will give you enough credit. Keep in mind, there's that word again. That will give you enough credit to offset your entire bill. And that's usually what happens in my case. Usually in my case, my bill comes in at zero. I have had solar for 3 years, and this is the sixth time that I have had to pay a bill in 3 years. And this last bill was the most expensive. But because I know how to read my electricity bill, then I can do the calculations and understand what the problem could potentially be. So now when I'm calling the electric company and asking questions, they're not telling me just what they know to tell me. I'm on an equal playing field with them because I understand exactly what's going on with my bill. I understand how many kilowatts I use. I understand how much energy I produce. I understand how much energy I sent back to the grid. I understand how much I'm paying per kilowatt. I understand how much I'm being paid for the energy that I'm sending back. And then I also understand the other charges. So if I am that smart, and that's what you got to be smart, you have to be as smart as the smart meter that's on your home, that is actually keeping up with how much energy you're using, how much energy you're sending back. Okay. So let's just think about it. Why do they call them smart meters? Because, unlike in the 70s, the 80s, when the meter man would actually come around and read the meter, and then they would go back and do the calculations for your bill. They don't do that anymore. They can monitor that meter from an office computer without coming to my house every week. Okay. So, yes, what we at Solar Logics EDU, what we want to do is make you, the homeowner, smarter by educating you about everything related to solar energy, everything that we can. Believe me, everything I know, I want you to know. Because when you choose to transition, I want it to be a wise choice, a choice that you understand. And solar is not for everybody. Every roof is not a perfect candidate. And you need to know that. So if you don't, then you will fall prey to predator salespeople, predatory practices. They are out there just to make the money, and then they are gone and you are stuck. So, any questions, any comments, put them in the chat, in the comments section. Give me a call at 214-497-7440, and let's talk about it. Please tell everybody that you know. There's this lady. Her name is Robin. She is on every Thursday. You can see her on Facebook. You can see her on YouTube. You can listen to her on iHeartRadio and the Be Humble, Stay Humble, or Stay Humble, Be Humble network. Okay. And that's all she talks about is solar energy. Because I know that there are many of you out there under the sound of my voice. I know that there are many of you out there who have problems with solar that you have already bought. And the reason I know that is because I get to help people solve those problems, recreate the details to figure it out and come up with a solution. And now I can tell you that there are solutions. You don't have to just be stuck. In some cases, you may be stuck. I may not be able to help you. I may not be able to direct you to help. But until you ask, you won't know. And I will tell anybody, open your mouth, ask for help, even if it didn't happen yesterday. And the reason that, if it didn't happen yesterday, you still have options because you have warranties. Even if that company has gone out of business, there is still a monitoring company, a company that is monitoring your system. And if we can figure out who that company is, then maybe we can get to them and have them troubleshoot. If your system is not producing, maybe one of the inverters went out and your system is warranted against that. And so, please, I am just asking you to accept the offering to learn about solar energy, okay? Because realistically, eventually, we're all going to have it. Right now, we're in a crucial stage where, you know, the industry itself is growing. It's kind of in a baby stage right now where there's a lot of money to be made. And there are many people who don't care if they hurt you or not. But then there's somebody like me who comes on the scene who does care. And the reason I care is because it happened to me. Like I said, I have solar on my home. Now, thank God, the information that I was given about my system is all good. I don't have any problems there. But the person that sold me solar, they said to me, Encore has a rebate program. And if your system is approved, then you will get a rebate. But keep in mind, my husband and I were already clear that we wanted solar, and we had already decided that we're going to go with this particular company. Now, if the project was approved and we got a rebate, oh, that would have just been icing on the cake. But it did not have anything to do with why we actually made the purchase. It would have just been a bonus. But what did they do? They forgot, listen to me, they forgot to circle back around and tell me, Robin, your system was not approved. Now, if they had just said that, I would have been okay, cool, no problem. But because they didn't and they had no answers, they acted as if they had not even shared that promotion with me. It actually sent me on a hunt. I was determined to find out what happened. Their reasoning was Encore is such a big company, we can't tell them what to do. There's no way we can go back and find out what happened. I'm like, well, okay, let's just see about that. So, long story short, I was actually able to get to Encore and find the person who was the actual project manager at that time. He actually told me, yes, we did have a rebate program. It started in January, it ended in March. There was $1.3 million allocated for this program. However, when the young lady sat at my table and told me about the rebate, based on what the project manager told me, the project was over. They were using that, as quote unquote an incentive to get most people to buy. Whereas I didn't care. Okay. I really didn't care about it. But what I cared about is if you told me something, then it's your job to follow through and come back. As you told me, it would take 30 to 90 days. Come back and tell me that my project didn't qualify. No problem. But now, you want to act like, hey, it's just whatever. And that's the reason that I sell solar. That experience is the reason that I am out here educating homeowners about solar energy because I just believe in my heart that homeowners need an advocate right now. And we need some policies and some rules in place to protect homeowners. Homeowners need consumer protection rights as it relates to solar energy. And you need people, advocates, people like me who can help you understand your rights and be able to navigate this industry because it's important. It's just important. Okay. So we're getting close to the end of our time together. The hour is just about up. It goes so fast. And most often, I don't give all the information that I need to give about me, but I'm here. And I will continue to be here every Thursday, 6:30 to 7:30. Okay. You can reach me by going to my website, solarlogix.edu.com. Now you're going to spell Logix, Logexs, edu.com. Solarlogix.edu.com. You can always reach me whether I am live on here on the podcast or anytime. 214-497-7440. Call me up if you have questions, if you have concerns, or even if you have problems. Let's fix them. Let's do it together. Again, as I said, the purpose for being here is to educate homeowners. We want to make you smarter so that the buying experience will be equalized. You know, you will know as much as the person who is selling it to you. And that's just simply it. There are lots of other things that you want to make sure when people knock on your door in your communities, they should have a permit. Ask to see their permit. Ask for their ID. Ask for information about their company. How long have they been in business? Ask for references. And most of all, don't sign the contract at the first visit. Okay, don't do it. No matter how good it sounds, go to sleep on it and let them come back. If they don't come back, that'll prove to you that, they're probably out of integrity. You didn't want to deal with them, but now you have enough information that you can call up someone else. You can call up a reputable solar company and get exactly what you need. So that's kind of it for tonight. I am so happy and grateful always to be here. And I am more grateful now because, my passion found me. This is really a passion to share this information. And it found me sitting at a kitchen table with my husband, listening to presentations about solar, making a decision. It has been a good one for us. Okay. So if there is nothing else, I am going to bid you good night. I'm going to ask you, last week I told you, now, if you tell 10 people about me and you call me up at 214-497-7440, and we can have a conversation about who it was that you shared information about, Miss Robin, I've got something for you. But tonight, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this has been interesting and or the conversation has piqued your interest in solar energy. And I hope that you're excited that there is someone like me who is out here for you, okay, to make your experience with solar energy that much better. And if nothing else, we will be here next Thursday to talk more. Maybe I'll have a more outlined conversation for you, but it's so easy for me to talk about solar. We can jump in the middle of the water and go anywhere. I'd like to believe that I'm giving you or sharing with you exactly what you need to pique your interest enough to get educated, become educated, and not be scammed. Okay? So with that, I will bid you Good night. Thank you all for joining me. Bye.
Good night.
Good night, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a
Okay.
good one.
All right. Bye
Okay.
bye.